Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now. November 26, 2025. Serious incident just a few meters from the White House. At least 2 United States National Guardsmen may be seriously injured, or may have already become part of the most tragic chapter in the history of the United States of America. Family, your likes, your comments, breaking news, military strategies, comments were Good evening, family. Welcome to Military Strategies Live Now. An incident that happened a while ago has left the capital of the United States of America, Washington District of Columbia, Troy, in a state of shock. 2 National Guardsmen have been attacked in cold blood just a few meters from the White House. Just a street behind the White House, this incident took place. An indiscriminate planned attack, an ambush. That's how the FBI described it. And this is happening right now in the capital of the United States of America. There are images, there are videos. We're going to look at all of them now. We'll try to analyze what happened. Is there anyone in custody? Alive. Interestingly, he has survived. Something uncommon in the United States. In shooting situations, the shooter is usually taken down, but in this case, there is a suspect in police custody. First send. Our condolences to the entire American nation, everyone in North America and the National Guard members who do an excellent job to safeguard the safety of the streets, to take care of their country. No one has any justification to launch an attack, an assault, as it has already been classified, an attack against any person, anywhere in the world, and even less so in the United States of America. What we're going to do, first of all, is listen to the FBI's statement before we start looking at images. But before that, let's go to the scene of the incident. Let's see exactly where this happened so we can have a complete picture. Where or at what place did this incident happen? Preparing the map now. Since we're live, your likes and comments matter a lot. We'll cover Venezuela tonight. It's the channel's main topic now. But we have to see this. In this place, like I said, just a few meters from the White House, and it's no joke.
Justo.
From here, you can see the White House right at its corner. This incident has happened. The suspect has been put into an ambulance. At this point, you see here. Now we'll show you a photo. The incident where the 2 National Guard officers have fallen. It happened here. We're going to go down to the street to get a street-level view. Right here, right there on that corner. That's where the incident occurred, at this bus stop. From images I've seen in a video, the glass has been damaged, so I understand that the shooting took place from about this height, more or less. It was indiscriminate, in cold blood, very close, practically right next to the victims of this attack. And of course, currently, the United States is facing a complicated situation. The Muslim Brotherhood has just been designated as a terrorist group, and Antifa has also been labeled as a terrorist group, also the trendy Aragua group. Plus, Immigration and Customs Enforcement conducts operations against illegal immigration nationwide. I'm not saying it's related or not, since it's too soon, but right now, the issue of security in the United States of America is a real controversy. Here, in this place, is where we saw the image of an ambulance carrying a person, and we don't know if it's related to the incident or not, but the suspect is in custody. And the White House is right at the end of this street. Right back there is the White House. Obviously, the White House has been evacuated of tourists who were there at the time. It has been closed, and nearby government buildings have also been closed for security reasons. Still, I insist the person responsible or who is supposed to be responsible for this situation has been detained. Let's take a look at images now from the scene of the incident. Images that were taken a short while ago.
Great.
Police presence. A pretty large police presence, agents from the National Guard, and also from the police. Special intervention agents, the Special Weapons and Tactics team have also been deployed there. And from the White House Secret Service, to take an interest and assess the situation, right on the street. In light of what seems to be a new attack on United States democracy, I insist. This kind of attack has no justification. We see more videos. A cordon forms around the area. There are quite a few nerves. And a situation, well, sad. What did he say? Pete? Secretary of the War Department? Secretary of War of the United States. He's now called Secretary of War, not Defense. Did he say that?
Very productive meetings, but I want to start by saying after those meetings, myself and my team were notified that 2 National Guardsmen had...
After these meetings, we have been notified that 2 National Guard agents
shot.
Have been shot.
In Washington District of Columbia.
In Washington District of Columbia.
Wounded.
They are severely hurt.
Shooter shot in a cowardly...
Dastardly.
The shooter fired in an act of cowardice.
act targeting the best of America.
Taking or targeting America's best.
Heroes willing to serve in Washington District of Columbia service.
Who were willing to serve in Washington District of Columbia?
For people they've never met.
For people they had never met, whom they had never seen.
Because they love their country and their capital.
Because they love their country and capital.
Capital in their community.
And their community.
They were willing to do dangerous things, others were not because.
And are they willing to carry out dangerous things that others are not capable of?
They love other Americans, though somewhat discouraged.
With American patriots,
decided to turn that.
Someone has determinedly decided to do this.
Into targeting National Guardsmen.
And to target members of the National Guard.
That will only stiffen our resolve. We will never back down. We will secure.
He says we will never go back.
Our capital.
We are going to secure our capital.
Secure our cities, in fact.
We're securing our cities, he says.
This happened just steps away from the White House.
He says, this has happened just a few steps from the White House.
We will not stand.
He says, we are not going to stay, or we are not going to give up, or we are going to stand still.
And that's why President Trump.
That's why President Trump
has asked me, and I will ask the Secretary of the Army.
He asked me, and I asked the Secretary of the Army.
Into the National Guard to add 500 additional troops.
Send 500 more troops.
National Guard to Washington District of Columbia.
To Washington District of Columbia.
This is our resolve.
This is the result that happened.
To ensure
To ensure Washington is safe.
TBC safe and beautiful. The drop in crime has been historic.
Crime has dropped significantly.
The increase in safety and security has been historic.
The increase in security is historic.
But if criminals want to commit violence like this...
But do criminals want to carry out acts like this?
Against America's best?
Against the best of America? Against the best Americans?
We will never back down.
We will never give up. We will never...
Caer.
President Trump will never back down.
President Trump never will.
A dar marcha atrás.
That's why Americans elected him.
That's why the people of America elected him.
America and our warriors, our National Guardsmen are...
Americans, American warriors of the National Guard.
They are...
strong.
Following this very closely, getting information rapidly.
We'll quickly find this information.
And I mentioned the faith of this country, the Christian faith, the prayer.
He says, I've discussed this country's Christian faith.
Prayers. I would ask for prayers for our next
I ask you, please, to pray for the members of the National Guard.
Guardsmen.
Excuse me.
Words from the Secretary of Defense, who just announced, by executive order from Donald Trump, the immediate deployment of 500 more members of the National Guard to secure the streets of Washington. District of Columbia. We are on November 26, 2025. The Christmas campaign is starting. As they say, Washington and other cities in the United States of America have to strengthen their security. At the moment, there is no confirmation of the motive, and there is no information about the person detained. Clara, that we can present, we still want to wait to have a
Enough.
complete picture of what might have happened. Let's see now. Statements from the FBI. What have they said in relation to this incident?
National Guard here in DC.
Andreas, we know this was a targeted shooting.
What we know is that this has been a attack, planned attack. That is to say, it was an attack that was prepared. That is to say, it was planned.
One individual who appeared to target these guardsmen.
And the detainee, an individual, intended to attack the National Guard.
That individual has been taken into custody.
And
The individual has been taken into custody. They haven't said much more. They haven't commented further. If he belongs to any association or group that has been outlawed, we don't know yet. Before making any assumptions, I ask for patience. We will provide more information on this topic as it comes in, as it happens. Although one thing is clear, there is currently a situation in the United States that is unstable. Let's call it that here, what we've been experiencing for the past 2 years. Those demonstrations in the streets of the Capitol, in New York, in Los Angeles, in many places across the country have harmed public safety, and individuals who surely are not right in the head or have mental problems or suffer from any kind of difficulty, they're going out into the streets to carry out attacks like this, Charlie Kirk, and a few more incidents that we have seen. And images now. Moment of extraction in the helicopter of the wounded. Emergency air extraction to the heroes of the United States. Situation, as I said, is quite complicated. 2 members of the National Guard, Virginia, have been killed in an ambush. In 25.
DC.
The troops reportedly returned fire and captured the injured suspect. FBI Director Kash Patel states that both soldiers are in critical condition, correcting previous reports that they had died. The White House declared an emergency incident and Reagan National Airport suspended departures. Trump was in Florida at that time. The president was never in any danger. The end, according to reports.
Let's check if this news is
Related. Because we have to check this here. Let's see. No, that has nothing to do with it. There are different versions of the incident and what's happening now. Some people are saying, well, it could be someone connected to a movement we've seen in recent weeks. I'm still not going to give that information because it's not verified. Here, only things that are verified. We're live right now, and 10,000 people are watching what's happening in the United States of America, what's happening at this moment. Thank you very much for being with us. There is no error. No justification at all. I insist it can't be justified in any way. And send a big hug to all National Guard families. The suspect approached the guards apparently with the intention of aiming at them, shooting first at one of them, who was just a few meters away. Police sources said the suspect then shot at the other guard as he tried to hide behind a bus stop. The source said that the suspect was not cooperating with investigators and did not have any identification at the time of his arrest. Therefore, there is still no confirmed identification of the suspect at this time. He fired first at one of the National Guardsmen and then at the other, who was trying to take cover, leaving us with a horrific scene. For the history books, I can't show the video due to YouTube community guidelines, but the images are graphic. Very, very graphic. Or probably later, we will upload it to Telegram. What news, what news? And this, we need to understand or see the full picture of now. A country where the National Guard is deployed, a country where there are riots in the streets against a group of people who don't want to accept the rules. And in the end, this blows up somewhere. It was or is part of what is going to happen and will keep happening in the coming months. In the United States of America, unfortunately, because there are people who don't know how to accept the rules of coexistence and don't want to accept them in any way. So that's how it is. All right. Now that we're live, I'd like to discuss another incident that occurred, which I think is important. Is impressive. Pay attention to the images we are about to see now from Hong Kong. We're going to the other side of the country, the world, the planet. Focus on where we're headed. We're going to find it. On the map. Are you going to be amazed by this? I hadn't seen anything like this in a long time. We flew to Hong Kong. In this district that we see here, in this area, what you are about to see now live has happened. Buildings, practically skyscrapers burning. Absolute madness in Hong Kong. At least 279 people are missing, having been engulfed in flames. Inside the building, 36 dead, 29 hospitalized so far, but the lives of 179 are feared for. Tremendous, huh? The images of this incident in Hong Kong are tremendous. When we saw them, we said, oh my God, what happened here? From one building to another, the flames kept spreading, moving from one side to another. And the thing is, another tragedy somewhere else, right? Besides, he was from Washington, District of Columbia. Just now, a little while ago, look at the images. It looks like the tower is on fire. We've already seen buildings. We've already seen in Madrid some tall building burning. We've seen historically, also in the United States, unfortunately, the towers burning. But this is tremendous. Without a doubt, it's tremendous. But there we are. And also to announce, there has been a coup d'etat. In Guinea, a coup d'etat in Guinea, in which the president of the country has been removed from office. Look at the amount of news that's happening right now around the world. It's happening at this very moment. All of this. It's a matter of hours, just a matter of hours, family. We're going to leave it here. We'll be back now later. We have an update on Venezuela. The Dominican Republic joins the party against Maduro. Maduro has made a statement. We have breaking news. In minutes, on military strategies, greetings.